Let's talk about facts when I say that I've been here a while. Walk in my shoes, I can tell you, you won't make a mile. I am the judge and the jury, so put them on trial. Murder is foul, allow me to teach a new theory, the purpose is vile. There's no coming back, so you can eat shit with a smile. I've been in the game, ran up the bag, just to put it in the pile. Create the frame, bought up the land.
We just gonna go there?
Yeah. For the record.
Yo, all right.
Fucking record.
That comes with it.
FTRB.
For the record, we are. Anyway. Yo, for the record, episode 2.
Episode 2.
Here's the thing, right? So if you're from Connecticut, if you're from New Haven, if you don't know these two guys, like you've been under a rock. Like when you say hip hop, when you say R&B soul, when you want to say, you know, dealing with the community, being in the hood, I mean, where do you start with Phil Blount and Manny James? Phil Blount, like, there's no argument. There's no argument about it at all. Like, one of, if not the best, in my opinion, hip-hop artist in Connecticut, out of New Haven. Hands down.
Humble.
Whatever anybody want to say, it is what it is.
Humble.
My opinion. Manny James, when you talk about R&B, soul, community stuff from the jungle, there is no better, no bigger, you know, R&B artist from Connecticut who's actually live, still grinding.
Respect.
Than Manny James.
I agree.
Thank y'all for coming, man. For the record.
Appreciate y'all brothers for having us. For the record.
For the record.
Salute us, man.
I mean,
Clap it up.
It's crazy because, you know, like we were saying earlier, you know, for us to be in the same state, city, like for me not to run into you is crazy. You know, I run into you all the time. You know,
this is actually our first time meeting too.
This is our first time meeting.
Right. This
period.
is our first time meeting. Man. Get the fuck out of here.
And that makes no sense.
I did my homework. I was like, bro, ain't no way we supposed to just meet.
Nah, it's crazy.
He was like, you know what we got to do? Exactly.
But you know, like, I go down, I like to call it the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? I go down the rabbit hole and I first of all, your project, Biggie's Pen.
Yes, sir.
Like, I listen to stuff and then I listen to stuff.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And then I hit you on IG and I was like, yo, this is definitely a no skip.
Straight through, no skip.
Yo,
yes,
no skip.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And you gotta, like, that's not hard to do.
Wow.
Like, and I'm talking about a no skip. And I'm not talking about just like, you know, in the city. Like, this is 2021 when that came out. Mm-hmm. It literally was probably one of the best CDs, period. Let's not talk about just here.
In Connecticut. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like, I still haven't taken it out.
You
know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I hold perspective.
Yes, sir.
To the heart, because there's a lot you were talking in there.
Appreciate
you know what I'm saying?
Sir.
There's a lot of messages in there. Mm-hmm. When you talk about Biggie's Pen, where were you at when you created that project?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me step in real quick. just to interject, because we're going to get back to that. Let's go back a little bit, because Biggie Pen is his latest joint.
Right.
Let's go back to 2018.
Okay.
2018. Mm-hmm. You put out 4 projects, bro.
Wow. Back to back. 4 months.
Facts.
You put out 4 projects. You put out Weight Gain.
Yes, sir.
Hustle Right.
H2. Hustle Right.
1 and 2.
Yep. 1 and 2.
And then you went with
Smart Thug. Motivation
Smart.
101.
Yeah.
Smart Thug.
Smart. Right. Motivation 101, right? What were you going through in 2018 to put out 4? And what I'm saying to you is, I was listening. Bro, this is for the record. This is facts. You know.
You hit me.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, you hit me.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And me and you go back. We don't talk every day.
Doing, bro.
We don't
keep doing it. Yes,
every
sir.
album. And I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on with Phil Blount? Yeah. Bro, he was dropping classic after 4 projects in 2018. Yeah. What were you going through in 2018 that said, and then we'll get into Biggie's Pen, which is a classic. And we'll pick up where you left off.
I'm biased. It's my personal favorite, right? Like, period.
We're going to get into that.
I love everything. I love everything.
We're going to get into that.
Oh, yeah.
But I need to know, what were you going through in 2018, bro, that you was dropping them projects because you had projects before that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
in 2018, you went berserk.
If you peep the timeline, I wasn't dropping a lot of music before that. Like, I was into it. I opened up the studio.
Right.
Started the label. We doing showcases. I'm in
Shout
the
out
mix.
to No Gimmick,
Yeah,
bro.
thank
I
you,
got
brother.
you. No doubt.
You know, I'm in the mix. But in 2018, I shut down the label portion. Well, I didn't shut down the label portion. I clipped all my artists. And because we was at a point where, you know, we was just outgrowing each other. I think it got to a point where, you know, when plan A don't work, you have to know when to fold them and go to plan B. You know what I mean? And I wanted to kill the business to salvage the friendship.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was my whole goal. But the whole time I was trying to do my label thing, I never really wanted to compete with my artists. So I didn't really drop a lot of music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm already not popping like I want to be. And how can I call myself having artists and I'm competing with them every step of the way? So I just didn't really release nothing. I dropped Mr. New Haven some years back and that was it. Yeah. So all that music was pent up.
Still impactful.
You know what I mean?
Still
So
impactful.
that was the whole.
Even though, not to cut you off, still impactful. Even though you say years back, you were still impactful with Mr. New Haven.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It said something and it carried over until great, in my opinion, greatness allows you, when you drop greatness, it allows you to kind of carry over and coast for a little while.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you definitely have done that throughout all the projects.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yes, sir. But that was pretty much it, man. It was just so much. Like, I got songs. You know, if you got your own studio, you know, I got a lot of music, bro. And just not putting nothing out. It was like, let's go. And that was actually a theme. And it might not even be done yet, but if you look, it's weight gain. Can I spill on that a little bit?
Do your thing, bro. Do your thing.
Weight gain. If you look at the album cover, it's a salute to the Skinny Boys.
Skinny Boys. It's two albums. It's two different covers.
And people don't realize that. And I got their blessing to do that, to reuse their album, to rework their album cover.
Right.
And then the first track up there, Weight Gain, the title, the album song, is the beat is the whole bass line is sampled from them. Wow. We replayed it.
Okay.
And we had their blessing. You know what I mean? I definitely asked them. Say, get it going. Yeah. You know, that's my salute to Connecticut, man. A lot of people don't even know that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just jumped over them, but.
No doubt. No doubt.
Man. But it was just getting those albums off. So it's Weight Gain. It's Hustle Right. It's Hustle Right 2. Yep. And it's Smart Thug Motivation 101. Yeah. And there's another album that's coming out called Bags, and you know what I mean? And then we might go from there, but it's growth until I get where I want to get. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You definitely see it. You definitely see the growth. You definitely see the penability. I mean, everything you can feel when I'm listening to your stuff. I can feel the pain. I can feel like the happiness that you go through in certain periods.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the growth overall, and it's again an amazing body of work.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you, my brother.
And I mean, you've been on the same kind of journey. You know, with your music. You know, from the first project to
I'm doing now.
to Church Street South.
Yeah.
You know, to what you're doing now. You know what I mean? Always paying homage. One thing I love about both of them, always paying homage to where they're from.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
No other way.
No, exactly. You know,
100.
It's where that little journey, from your first project to where you're at now with Joy Song and with 1987. You know, touch on that a little bit. Like, where were you at? Where you were constantly just dropping stuff and.
To me, I think it was just a life evolution. Like, each album is kind of like a snapshot of where I was in life. I think now. I probably got the most freedom I've ever had creatively. I'm really in my bag with my pen game. My vocals are where it need to be. My performance shit is where it needs to be. So I'm feeling like Michael Jordan going for them 6 rings. And I'm on ring number 1. I really feel like I'm just getting started. I feel like the other shit was the Pistons. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like early in the playoffs. And I'm just making a little noise. But now I'm like, nah, this is me. This is me. This is all me. So I just think life experiences, I think as you get older, you get a different perspective too. Right. When you're young, it's like you think you know everything, you think you got all the answers, and when you really start going through shit, it shapes everything. And you're like, wait a second, let me really look at life and let me take all this and put this into the music, into the art. Yes. So that's what you get. You're getting 100% authentically who I am. The music prior to that, I'm gonna say it wasn't who I am, but I would say this is all of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was pieces of me in the music. I think that sometimes you can get caught up in trying to fit what's going on in the music industry.
Trendy.
Instead of just making the dopest shit ever.
Right.
Now, I really don't give a shit what's happening. I'm literally just making whatever feels dope to me.
Because the dopest shit is always you.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's where everybody get lost at.
Right.
You know what I mean? Niggas is trying to be something else.
Something else.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be you. What comes out in entertainment, this is people forget this is the entertainment business. You understand what I'm saying? When you get a good actor, it's because they feel that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's because they can see that. When somebody come out and somebody performing, again, authenticity, when you see that, a real motherfucker can look at that and be like, come on, man, this shit is garbage.
Yeah.
This is not him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This nigga's talking about he drove home in the Bentley last night and somebody just dropped him off in the parking lot. Right. Now, I'm not saying niggas don't make moves like that, but you understand what I'm saying?
I get you.
What's real is what's real, bro.
Right.
That's what I'm going to feel. Right. That's what I'm going to feel every time.
And to your point, even that happens a lot, probably in hip hop more than anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm an R&B dude, but I'm a hip hop head. And for me, I feel like a lot of these dudes are frauds. I'm like, you ain't never did that shit. Like you're not really about that. And you can tell that it's not authentically who you are. You're just trying to cater to this audience or trying to create this image of something that you're supposed to be. But that ain't who you are. And we can tell you some fraud shit. Like, I can tell.
Yeah. That's how the majority. That's why the majority quit.
Right.
Because they can't. What they want to rap about, they can't show.
Can't maintain it.
Right.
So they just walk. They'd rather quit.
There's one thing about me, I always tell motherfucker, I don't lie.
Right.
I don't got no reason to lie.
For what?
I'm 100 every time.
Bro,
When you lie, you got to continue to follow up with that shit, bro.
For the rest of your career.
You're not catching me with no lies, bro. You won't catch me with authenticity every time, yo.
The toughest dude is his girl knows his soft side.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And he got one.
You gotta give it in the music. You can see through all that. Shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Shit is fraud.
Music is your girl.
Yeah.
You gotta give her every aspect.
That's what's up.
Women love it.
She know.
The fans love when you give them all of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now, to speak to your point a little while ago, when you said it's an entertainment, it's also entertainment
Business. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I'm always Manny. I've dealt with Manny for a number of years. I'm always
Shit, it's a long time.
honed in on the business, making sure the business portion of what you're doing, what we're doing is correct. Like, who we signed up with. We signed up with BMI, or we signed up with ASCAP, or the song's registered. I'm always crazy. So I guess my question to you guys, as the artist, when you're handling your artistry and handling your business, and then trying to balance that all in your world, like with your family, both of you guys have families.
True.
Like, what is your normal day-to-day like process of how you're breaking down everything and fitting everything in? I mean, without going crazy, I don't know if you could speak to that first, because you have.
I'm gonna get that.
Oh, I mean,
you have five
kids.
5 kids. God bless you, man.
Yeah. 4
bless
boys,
you,
1 girl. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
2 kids' mothers. I'm still.
We're talking authentic shit. We're talking real life.
And you still got all your hair.
Yeah.
You still got.
I'm getting pushed back a little bit. You know what I mean? But yo, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
I'm a realist.
Right.
If it ain't making no money, I got to figure out how to keep some money in my pocket.
Right.
So like on Biggie's pen, when I said I made this music, can we cuss?
You can say
When
whatever
I said I
fuck
made
you
this
wanna
music,
say,
shit
right?
pay me. I did. If it didn't pay in streams, it paid off studio time. $25 an hour for 10 years.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's my thing. I stayed around it. I was doing showcases, keep myself in the mix, and to keep a trampoline for certain artists, or keep a stage for them to, keep their craft up. But I stayed around music. So, it wasn't really hard for me, man. I worked plenty of jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at one point, I just was like, I'm tired of working. And I told myself at 30, I didn't, that it was cliche, being broke at 30. Everybody say that because we was in the big, but could you really feel that? You know what I mean? I wasn't ready at 30. I was ready at 33. So at 33, I jumped out the window, opened up my studio, and I made my rent the first month. You know what I mean? Fortunately, so I never really had a problem getting bodies in there. You know, and so taking care of my family wasn't really a hard thing, man. I know how to work. You know what I mean? I'm, you know, it take discipline, but I definitely learned it.
And family gives you motivation.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you don't want the babies to be looking at you like, Daddy, what are you doing?
Yeah, they can be mad at me, but they can't be disappointed. You know what I mean?
That's
you
perfect.
can't whoop me. You know what I mean? You can be mad all you want, but disappointment is different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I feel you on that.
For me, I think I just learned how to work more efficiently. Meaning, like, if I got an hour, I got to get as much shit done in that time as possible. If I got 2 hours, because my babies need me. My babies need me just as much as the music need me. You know what I'm saying? My family needs me just as much at the same time. So for me, I'm like, I put them first, and then I just figure out a way to get it done. Most nights, I'm up late night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, doing what I got to do. Or if they take a little nap in the afternoon, I'm like, shit, let me go in the studio. I got the home studio, I got the studio upstairs, doing whatever the hell I got to do to get it done. I'm rocking the baby. Like my last joint, Never Let Go, in 1987, I created that with my baby rocking her to sleep. Legit, like literally with my foot on the damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Like go sleep. I got daddy. You know what I mean? And I'm writing the record, and I'm getting it done at the same time. You gotta learn how to multitask, you know what I mean? Because the shit, you trying to live your dreams. You trying to be the best version of yourself, and you trying to hold your female. That's not no easy shit.
And grow as a man at the same time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Grow as a man.
And find time for yourself. You know what I mean? Because I don't think people realize how important it is for us as black men to live our fucking dreams too.
Right. Absolutely.
A lot of times, and this is some real shit. A lot of times when you got families, you make it all about the family, which you should. But at the same time, we got our own shit too, and we need to have space to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think that makes you complete as a man. Yeah. Like you can't just be one-sided, because then you resent your family like these fucking kids rest of my life.
Right.
That's like how you gonna make them happy if you're not happy.
Right. You gotta live that. You gotta do that. So for me, I put them first, but I also make time to do my shit. Make time and do it well.
As you should.
It's also very important to make time just for your own peace.
Yeah.
Like wherever that may be, sitting in the car
That's
for
where
an
it's
hour. If it's music, amazing. If it's sitting in the car for an hour,
just
to get that quiet time.
Yeah, you need it.
You know, that quiet time sometimes sparks the brain cells so you guys can create even more.
True.
And I think, you know, just again, as like to touch on your point, as black men, some people don't, the world doesn't understand that we need a break.
They keep dumping shit on us.
Yeah. We need a break sometimes. You know what I mean? Like we need to, like even when we're dealing with our wives or you know our loved ones or whatever, we just need to say I'm tired, and they need to be able to listen to us.
No doubt.
You know, and be like, okay, I understand you need a break.
Let me give this motherfucker a break.
Yeah, let me just give you a break, because we handle a lot. We're the breadwinners. We're trying to be the talent. We're trying to be daddy. We're trying to be husbands and everything else.
And what we got to deal with in the streets.
And what you got to deal with in the streets.
When we walk out the door, nobody understands.
You gotta be one.
That's as a black man. That's the first thing. As a black man alone.
And you gotta be one to understand. If you're not one, you can't. There's no way you can understand. I don't care what you're talking about.
That's go ahead.
I don't even expect them to. At this point, for me, it's just like, just give me the space to do my shit. Yeah. It's not even, I don't need you to understand. I just need you to know that today was hard. I had to deal with these motherfuckers that I want to.
That's it.
Right.
Smack. And I didn't. Because of you and the babies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just real. You know what I mean? That's real shit.
Right. And here's the next level to that. Like, you guys have, you said you had a son.
Four.
You have 4 sons.
4 sons, 1 daughter.
I have 1 son.
And you have, so that's a whole nother level of concern and worry, because not only do you have to worry about you getting back home, now you have to worry about them coming back home. And then you go, this can break you.
Yeah.
You know, this is that pressure that can actually tear you apart. Well, from the inside. You know, it's a lot. So please.
I seen dudes fold.
Yeah.
Like,
take your time.
No. I was agreeing with what you were saying. It's just like, as black men, when we walk out the door every day, no matter what you're doing, it's hard for us. I don't give a fuck. It's hard walking from block to block.
Going to the motherfucking gas station. Like, that's just what it is.
They don't understand. We got to watch out for niggas.
Right.
We gotta watch out for police.
Police.
Right? We gotta watch. Yo,
The streets.
The streets.
Yep. It's all that shit.
It's they don't get it, bro.
And nowadays, the more money you get,
they don't get this shit.
Nowadays, the more money you get, you more liable to come across some bullshit than a dude in the street.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
You know what I mean?
it
Just
never
trying to
gets
have that.
never gets better for us.
Watch this. Even when they think you got money.
I'm trying to tell you.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's the
when you looking like you eating and you living good, motherfuckers, they start scheming. They start like, damn, they start hating. Like I do for my own hood. Like I'm in a little shit. I'm like, damn, bro, what the fuck we doing?
There must be nicers.
Yeah, because that's the shit that the niggas that we were just talking about don't get. Right. You know what I mean? You stand on stage,
Right.
and you performing in front of these wolves,
Right. 100.
as if you one of them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Nigga, you're not even an alpha male, and you up there.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a pack of wolves out there, bro.
Yeah.
And they ain't got nothing to lose every day.
And they don't give a fuck. Like you said, they ain't got nothing to lose. They'll do whatever it takes to get what you got.
Yeah. Or what they think you got.
What they think you got. What they think
You
you
know what I'm
got.
saying? What they think you got. They
Drink
don't
to
know
that.
it's a grind. Like the key to this whole shit is sacrifice.
Yeah.
You sacrifice sleep, you sacrifice money, you sacrifice your personal time, you sacrifice
your
everything
life.
to be fucking great.
You sacrifice your life.
Everything to be great, yo.
Especially when you
yeah.
love it. Especially when you love it.
Yeah, man.
You know what
And
I
that's
mean?
it. The love is the only reason
Definitely
it's the
put
only
in
thing
some
that sustains
sacrifice
you.
other
You know what I'm
dudes
saying?
don't.
I mean, that kind of what everything you guys just said kind of just brings me back to the point of you guys have constantly recreated yourself just over and over again and have stood the test of time. You know, I've seen, you know, what I was talking about Biggie's pen. I listened to stuff, but then I listened to it. I listened for flaws. I didn't find any, by the way.
Right.
You know, I listened to Joy's song.
Right.
I listened to 1987, and you know me.
Yeah.
I'm killing people. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, that note was just a little off. I probably would have deleted. I didn't find any flaws.
Right.
Yeah.
So like when you talk about the you know, everything you're going through in your day to day, and dealing with your music, you know, your family is fueling you. I understand now why you guys have been around for a long time. You know, you guys. I mean, that to me should be commended and clapped for. I mean, you guys. You guys are not only. I don't look at you guys as New Haven talent. You guys are worldwide talent. You know what I mean? So that was one of the reasons why, you know, when Joe and I started doing this, we were like Phil Blount, Manny James. That's going to be a perfect mixture because these guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So me from not even meeting you and just being. Manny knows I'm an asshole when it comes to music.
Well, we both are.
Absolutely. And I'm like, I hit you, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hit this brother up and just be like, yo.
And I do that. So I definitely felt it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I gotta tell him because if somebody else didn't tell him this is a no skip project, I gotta just hit him up and just give him my opinion, whether it mattered or not. You know what I mean? So thank you for that project.
Thank you back, my brother.
You know what I mean? And thank you for Joy's song and I mean, I know it's about your babies and everything. Yeah. 1987. I mean, it's always you've got a lot of layers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got a lot. Yo, I got a lot of shit. Like,
let's touch on your layers, man.
Yeah.
1987.
1987.
Let's fast forward. 1993. Were you still living in the jungle?
Still living in the fucking jungle.
This nigga from the jungle.
For real.
Church Street South.
Church
AKA
Street
the
South.
jungle.
Still living in the hood.
Right across
If you don't know what that is,
God
you Google it. It's definitely Google worthy.
Damn
At
right.
that point, and the reason why I said Google this shit, because we
that's when it went
understand.
down.
No
We
doubt.
understand.
No doubt.
You understand what I'm
Someone
saying?
needs to make a
We
movie
understand.
about the jungle.
They do. They do.
You know
They
what I'm
do.
saying?
Growing up in that environment,
Right.
I know you.
Right.
The world don't know you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not local,
Right.
but to the masses.
Right.
At what point did you say, growing up in that environment, at what point did you say, I want to be a soulful R&B artist? Because we know what the jungle is.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying?
It's a motherfucking
And that
jungle.
shit ain't no soulful R&B
I got
place.
stories, bro.
That shit ain't no soulful R&B
Carlisle
place.
Street.
it ain't.
Yo,
Carlisle Street right
come
there.
on, man.
Yo,
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yes, sir.
We hill
Yes,
niggas,
sir.
man.
Yes,
The
sir. Every
craziest
step of
thing
the way.
about
Come on,
it
man.
It is. Watch this shit I'm about to tell you.
Legendary
I
shit.
think I know where
came
you're
from
going with it. Go ahead.
First of all, my neighbor, Dr. Tiffany Jackson is her name. She's a doctor now. Was an opera singer. You know how many people in the hood had the same talent, the same ability, but it was the environment
No doubt.
that made you move a certain way. You adapt to wherever you at.
Right.
If you in a room full of wolves, you're gonna be a fucking wolf.
Yeah.
You got no choice.
Yeah.
You can't be like,
Yeah.
nah. You're gonna take an L. You gotta be a savage.
Yeah.
So what it showed me was like, yo, for me, my parents were church people. But I always had that soul, that Sam Cooke, that motherfucking Donny Hathaway.
True indeed.
You know what I'm saying? That New Edition, the 90s era. I had that in me. I couldn't deny that.
Can't
And there was
shake it.
other people in the hood that had that in me, but I just saw that, yo, like for real, I could take this bigger. I remember sitting on the steps, had to be on 88, 89. I remember sitting on the steps, you know, Jeff, you know the hood, you know what it is, the metal steps and shit. And I'm just like, I'm sitting here and I see myself doing the same shit I'm doing now. It was crazy to me. I never knew where the journey would take me. I didn't know any of that, but I was just like, yo, why am I having this? It was like a vision, but I was awake. You know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing it happen, and I'm like, okay. Then once I started kind of doing it for real, and the people started responding to it, I was like, yo. But even with all of that, at the core, I'm still that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, that's at the essence of who I am. You know what I'm saying? I came from that environment. So I'm going to move a certain way in certain situations. I can't turn that off.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know the saying, think motherfucker out the hood.
But you
What's your
can't.
neighbor think the hood? That's just what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I also connect with more R&B dudes that are like that. Like Bobby's my fucking guy. Cause he's Bobby. They from Boston. You know what I'm saying? No Addition knows my guys because they real dudes. They've been around the game. They lost people to the game. They understand that. I connect more to R&B artists like that than the cookie cutter kind of. Cause that's not what I live. That's not what I live.
Nigga, you the soulful Bobby. Nigga, you the soulful. Right on, but that, you know, it's crazy to make that correlation. I never looked at it like that, but that's how I see it.
Right. But
You know what I mean?
But you think about even Whitney, who in the 80s was a pop star. Whitney was from Newark, New Jersey.
Right.
You
You
can hear tinges when she talk. You can hear like
that
you
was
see interviews, like you can hear.
it. You know what I'm saying? When you think about Donny Hathaway from Chicago,
Sir.
A lot of the greatest R&B singers, they was from the
mud,
Jets,
bro.
man. They knew what it
Come out the
was because they
mud,
lived that life.
Or
And
from
they
them
poured-
apartments.
Sam Cooke was from Chicago.
You know what I mean?
He came from the South Mississippi first, and then they poured that into the music.
Right.
So I take my experiences, I take the people around me, I take my community. One thing I'm gonna say about the hood, people always portray it a certain way, and a lot of it was that, but it was a community. Some of the dopest people I ever met in my life came from them projects. Yo.
Come on, man.
You already know what it is. They came from. I mean, that just bred greatness and the hustle.
Because at that point, everyone's going through the same exact
They're going through the
thing.
same shit.
We're
Right.
understanding the same exact thing. We're
Right.
seeing the same thing. We're going to the same schools.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right. We all got rats and roaches. Goddamn it! Like, what are you?
I'm
what
an
are you
apartment
doing?
baby. But quietly, apartment babies always had a tinge of jealousy for project baby. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I'm about to say, right.
I'm an apartment baby, bro. My mom was from apartment to apartment. You know what I mean? I never lived in a project, but I know, like, you know what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
Like, there was a camaraderie that you saw in project
And a
niggas that
respect.
you was just like,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
You had to respect it.
It's
You know what I
when
mean?
we was younger, it'd be like, yo, them niggas from the project.
It's a project love, bro.
that's
That project
interesting.
love.
That's
We could have been the softest motherfuckers in the projects. We like,
Project
yo,
love
them niggas from the
different, bro.
project,
Yo,
son.
It's a
You know what I
different
mean?
swag,
It's a
man.
different love,
It's
bro.
a different love.
different.
And to this
It
day,
is.
that's family.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck if I don't talk to you in 10 years. That's family.
Yep.
that's crazy.
That's
That
family.
point is crazy. Like,
Right.
to even
Yo, that
think
shit is
that.
real. That shit. But see, that come from being knowledgeable of where you from.
Right.
You understand? That come from being well rounded and grounded from your community. That's why he's here and able to speak about this shit.
Right.
on some real shit. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't see it like that. Some people just walk through the motherfucking hood and don't pay attention to them niggas from the project. Yo, it's a bunch of them niggas coming down the street.
Just see
On the
everything
bullshit.
right here.
On the bullshit.
On the bullshit.
You know them niggas on the bullshit.
Hey, on the
son.
bullshit.
But
Wow,
don't get me
no.
wrong. That apartment nigga on the bullshit too.
Yeah.
Because they from the same neighborhood.
No doubt, right up
They
the street.
from that apartment nigga a little slicker too.
Yeah.
Because he moved dolo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
That
real.
apartment nigga moved dolo, son.
That's real.
Keep an eye on that nigga because he gonna catch all them niggas one by one when he catch them niggas.
If you got to.
learning here. This
If
is
you
a
got
learning-
to.
this
Here
is
we
a
go.
learning-
Here we go.
You need to stop. You need to stop with this
Stop.
shit, bro. You need to stop with all of this
hard to
learning
stop.
this shit,
I'm
bro.
learning here.
What are you learning? Like, what are
I'm
you
learning-
You were in there.
levels to what? As if you're not, nigga. Do
Oh,
we
put him
need
in
to
the
talk?
situation.
Like,
The crazy
you're
part,
connected.
you put him in a situation, he gonna react.
right, exactly.
He gonna
exactly.
react.
Right?
I've been with him
He
when
gonna
he reacted.
Right.
gonna react.
When he reacted.
Niggas,
You
you
Put him in
bugging.
a situation, he gonna react.
bugging.
You see that? I'm not motherfucker. You know what I'm
Talking
saying?
about.
Hey.
What I'm talking about is learning the different levels because I can't speak to apartment living.
Yeah, right.
I can't speak to
You got grass?
project.
You got grass?
You know what I'm saying?
You got grass going
When
up?
I say,
Gates,
when I say
fence.
I'm learning here, like it's interesting for me to hear him say that apartment living and
It's
that
different from
mentality
Jets.
was like, yo, niggas from Jets is different.
It's different.
And stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's different for me to hear that because for me, it was always like, you know, my mom was always like, don't go down there.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Don't go down there. Like all my cousins and everything was either from Star Street or, you know,
You're in the hood.
you know, the
You're in the hood.
Real hood shit.
You're in the hood. You're in the hood. The high rises?
Bush Street
Oh,
projects. You know, well, my family grew up in Ashman Street.
High rises.
And then
yeah.
I came along, and my brothers and sisters came along, and they were like, "Let's move over here."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It is a learning experience for me.
Now-
Like, there's certain things that we've all experienced that you guys have experienced that I haven't. You know what I'm
indeed.
saying? That's a whole nother different conversation. You know, but it's real.
And it remains the truth from big jacks to the small ones. Like if you go to the trade or to Day Street,
Yeah.
that's a small little,
Yeah.
but it's the same
Yeah.
It's
camaraderie.
the same. It's the same
It's
energy.
like my hood.
It's that same energy.
Like my, you
The
know,
ninja spot. It's the same camaraderie.
That's a real
Come on,
motherfucker.
brother.
real
You know,
nigga.
my first love, the first illegal
Ain't
substance
nobody
I ever pushed.
heard it.
The first illegal substance I ever pushed was in front of the Mikasa Lounge, brother.
Yeah.
Come on, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you
Come on, man.
And,
Yo,
but
yo,
why?
And OZ don't even, Oz don't even get busy no more.
I was working on cars.
don't even get busy no more, bro.
I was got the car shop.
He's a
you know?
staple.
Dope.
He's a
Yeah.
staple.
Right.
That's crazy.
And that shows how dudes change. Come on, man. That's a whole nother
Because
story.
you got to think about it though. You're connected
thing.
to the way somebody else lives. So literally, a motherfucker could yell on one wall and I could hear the motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
Like it's like you're literally family. You're like, this is your fucking cousins by different, your brothers and sisters by different people.
Yeah.
Like you got no choice.
Yeah.
You see these motherfuckers every day. You balling with them. You fighting with them. Y'all sharing base head juices. Y'all buying chips.
Every day.
And then y'all banging the same girl. Y'all know
Every day.
all of that.
Every day.
And that's exactly what I mean. Like
Right.
that mentality. Again, it's a learning experience.
And you don't know what you're gonna get on a day-to-day basis.
don't.
I get that.
You feel what I'm saying?
You don't.
You don't know if this nigga coming out tomorrow with the bullshit. or not.
You
You
don't.
know what I mean?
That's the real shit, yo.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna touch a nerve.
Right.
My mother worked for SNET. She used to get off work like the old phone company for those that don't.
No. I'm
Right,
ready.
right,
I'm ready.
right, right,
I'm talking about to the
right,
few kids. So she get off work and she comes in the house and she's like, "Come on." Now, if you know Carlisle Street, you know Carlisle runs down, you hit the loop and you swerve back around.
Barbell.
Right.
Barbell.
We go down Carlisle and we go across Church Street.
No doubt.
And you know the parking lot.
You at the top?
The jungle. We at the parking lot.
Oh, shit.
We looking over the
Oh, shit.
you know,
The wall.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
wall.
yeah.
And there's a sting. Come to find out, it's on the news. Wow. So it's nothing but police. They done locked up all the dealers, and it's just police. And there's a bazillion cars coming down, and they hopping in the cars. Dudes is pulling off. But this is crazy. But this is what we used to watch. Like that. I'm up the street. But then when I got into it, and I started being more knowledgeable. Man, I just wanted a taste of that. Like if I could have just lived in the
That was a
projects.
book. That was a book for you.
Yo,
that was some knowledge.
yo,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it
Yeah.
up with you. I
If I
tell people
could've
the only
lived
way
out
to
there.
describe it is, this is how I describe it. New Jack City.
Crazy.
There's no other way to describe it. Like when you down there and you really live in that shit and you see that shit every day, it's like, yo,
A million friends.
These
down here,
motherfuckers
but I
was living
can't
like
feel what they
rappers.
feel.
Like the game, it was real like that then.
Son.
Like you see that every day, and the temptation is like,
You know what it is.
Man, it's really one game.
you know what I'm saying? Like this is what we doing. You know what I mean?
It's different works, but it's one game.
It's one game. So, but it bred hustle, and that those experiences allow me to be dope, allow me to make dope music. Seeing the shit that other people went through as well, the shit that I personally went through, like losing homies early, like going to funerals and motherfuckers you grew up with, dying. Oh, that shit is never okay. That shit just, it changed me. Like it changed me, but it made me appreciate life. It made me move different. It made me decide to say, yo, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to make sure the mind is good, because I'm trying to live a long fucking time, and fully live out my dreams. You know what I'm saying? So
Because we become immune to that shit.
A lot of shit.
yeah,
We're immune to. Yo, God forbid, bro. No wood at or nothing. But I hate saying this shit.
Nah, but it's real.
I literally hate saying this shit. Kinda immune to that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I done lost so many friends,
You become numb to it.
family.
Early.
You become numb to that.
Early.
Numb to it.
You don't have a choice.
You become numb to that shit.
You don't got a choice.
And that's another layer going back to just that, getting that break.
Right.
As a black man,
Right.
getting that break because you are so numb to so many different things.
You got PTSD. What the
Right.
fuck?
Yeah.
Right.
But
That's what it is.
PTSD before you're 21.
But absolutely.
Nigga said, how you get a weed card? Nigga, you live in the hood, go get one.
Go
What
get
the
it.
fuck is you talking about?
What are we talking about? Yeah, man.
These are the things that people just don't discuss.
Let me hit you with this really quick too, man. PTSD, right? Mm-hmm. That's postpartum, right? Mm-hmm. Nigga.
Post-traumatic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck I'm talking? Yeah.
No, we've been drinking. It's cool.
No, but we
They
know
know
we
what
all
it
right.
is.
We all right.
Yeah.
We know you were.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, there's nothing posed about that
No.
shit. We still living
still
in
in
that
it.
shit every day.
Every fucking day.
You understand?
Every day.
That shit come from military shit, bro.
Right.
Training you.
Right.
That shit come from military shit.
Right.
Oh, they was fucked up in the war. They got, post-traumatic stress. Oh,
Right.
How you train in sports? You train in sports, you watch the tapes. It's TV, that's the military training.
every day.
From sexuality, acceptance
Every day.
to, you know what I mean? All
Every
this
day.
laws
Programming.
and getting you know.
Programming.
Every day.
It's TV, baby.
Program. Yo, my wife said something to me. Some real shit I'm about to tell y'all. I recently lost shit. I took a couple of losses recently, but I lost somebody, a family member. And I was laying in bed and she was like, yo, you should just let it out. And I was like, yo, I don't even know how to cry no more.
Crazy.
When you lose that many fucking people, like just back to back, and you just take them, you numb.
Yeah. Then you question
You
yourself for not
become
crying.
numb to the shit. Like you crying is almost more painful than going to the funeral. Like you don't want to just shit yourself feel that.
So when do you let that out? I mean, do you let that out in the music?
Yeah.
You know, I hear it in both. Like I hear it in your music a lot. I hear it in your music. I hear the soul, and I hear the
pain.
silent screams.
Yeah.
And a lot of your Dear America. You know, for me, when I listened to Dear America from you, it was just like he's speaking to every young black man and queen.
Bro, I
I
cried during all those vocals. That was like the first time I cried in years, because that was my outlet. That's why them vocals sound like that. That's why I didn't even touch them. I was like, this shit is raw. This shit is raw. But it was really like me reliving all of my own personal shit. So the music is the outlet. It's a positive and constructive outlet, but it's the outlet. Because if not, you want to do some bullshit out here. It's easy to get caught up. I don't give a fuck who you are, how solid you are. The streets is always on your ass. Always.
Right.
The bullshit is always right behind you. You make one wrong move, your shit is done. Your shit is done.
Yeah.
You've been here all this time. You make one wrong
Take 2
move,
seconds.
No, I get that.
you all set.
I get that.
You all set.
And when I'm listening to you, I'm hearing everything that you're saying, and I'm like there, like with you. Like if you're standing in the middle of the street, I feel like I'm standing in the middle of the street.
I'm not too animated. So if you notice if you take every rhyme I got, I don't care how fast I say it or slow. Right. If you take the beat out, it's a conversation. Every verse.
Right.
I don't care what song
you talk to them.
Even the ones I play with my voice and all that, it's still a conversation.
Yeah. But I mean, to speak to your voice, that's another thing that's distinctive. You know what I mean? Because you have guys like Jada, Busta, DMX, Jay. You know those voices. Yep. I know a Phil Blunt, you know what I'm saying, track. I'm like, okay,
definitely. I found my voice. Yeah,
it's there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's that signature thing that you could sign off on and be like, I know him, whether he's first or second on the verse or a hook. I know him. Right. You know what I mean? So, and that's I commend you for that too, because it sounds like over the years you've not only found your voice, you've mastered your voice, and each project has gotten. You've gone from that 1,000 to I'm a thousandaire.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That was one of my favorite lines when
I'm
you said I'm a
because I'm
thousandaire.
not lying. That's you know what I mean.
I'm authentic.
Real shit. You know what I'm saying? And I can appreciate all that shit. So
that's where I challenge a lot of artists. It's just like you got to make it rhyme.
Right.
You got to make it make sense.
Right.
What we do now, we used to do, and a lot of artists don't do now. We used to have, double and triple meanings.
Yeah.
So, and I'm able to do all of those within that same bar. So it's just like, that's where my fun flow. And I'm just hoping you catch it, because usually dudes only hear 1 to 2 of my meanings. They never hear the third. You know what I mean? So it's like, I always got a bar breakdown I'm waiting to tell. You know what I mean? Because it's crafty. I never think dudes hear what I'm saying.
It's funny you said that, because it was something that I wanted to touch on with you with when I seen you today, was that you do have hooks, but I necessarily don't hear your hooks, and they're dope. But what I'm saying is, it's just bars after bars.
You gotta respect that though. That's hip hop.
Yep.
That's hip hop though.
You know what I mean?
That's hip hop.
It's like fucking bar. That's why. What did I tell you when I listened? I told him. I said, listen.
You had to stop listening to it.
I'm dead ass. I said, you have an album that I had to stop listening to. Like, literally. Like, let me take this shit out my shit. Right. Because I'm listening to the bars. I'm not listening to the hook. That's what you get tired of. You're like, all right, I done sung this hook. Yeah. It's songs right now I can put on right now. I won't know a fucking bar.
Yep. Right. But when the hook come in.
Do the hook.
Right. And that's refreshing. You know what I mean? Like when you're listening to for me personally, when I'm listening to your music, it's just a breath of fresh air, because it's not trendy.
Right.
You know what I mean? It takes me back to when I was excited about hearing Nas, or when I was excited about hearing, Jay tell a story, or just go through his whole life.
Big.
That's the way I feel like when I'm listening to what I've heard from you.
Yeah. And I come from that. Yeah. And that's I'm 44. World. Right. You know what I mean? I embrace that.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? I super embrace my age.
Am I the oldest guy here again?
I fucking.
You're definitely the oldest motherfucker here again.
You know what I mean? I embrace it, bro.
You definitely
Probably is.
And I think that's what shows.
You low key uncle.
We're gonna have to get an old nigga in here for you, bro.
For real.
We're gonna have to get some old motherfuckers in here for you, bro.
But that's where it comes from. It's like I embrace my age. I can tap into any era before me. You know what I mean? And tap into it thoroughly. And I can tap into it from a 2K perspective, a 2022 perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a student of the game.
Yeah.
I'm a lifelong student.
Right.
I love it. I could tell you about these youngins, even if their music is not for me, because they're not my peers.
Yeah, not to interrupt you, bro.
No,
we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that here. Say the shit is trash. The shit is trash.
No. A lot of it is trash.
Okay, cool.
Once you smoking on somebody, that music's not for me. I know you box yourself into where I don't want to hear it.
Right.
Because it's just, and
It don't move you. It don't. For me, whether it's hip hop, whether it's R&B,
there's no life to it, bro.
Whether it's hip hop, whether it's R&B, if it don't hit me, if I don't feel that shit, I can't fuck with it. I don't give a fuck who you are, how many records you sell, whatever to that shit. If it don't punch me in the chest, I'm like.
And you didn't give me no
entendres with it.
When you killed them, you just killed them.
Yeah.
When you walked up and that's all I saw.
Right.
You didn't even give me. You didn't get crafty.
Paint the picture for me.
Come on, man.
Paint the picture.
Right.
Let me say, he did it like that.
That's a movie.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even, and that's where you get the King Vons. That's what the world like. You got a 2022 Slick Rick. You got a thugged out Slick Rick.
Yo.
You can't tell me nothing different. That's what I liked about it.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I fuck with Vaughn.
You feel me?
I fucked with
You
Vaughn.
feel me?
I don't
He was in his pouch.
I fucked with Vaughn. Like
But if I gotta hear
took him
that
to the
shit,
old shit,
I don't
oh
want
my
that shit
God.
some ways.
You felt it.
Yep.
You felt it.
Yep.
You felt it. Even
Maybe
he
it might have been the
lyrically-
authenticity.
Yeah, it wasn't even super lyrically, but that shit was real.
The way he gave it and
that's
he
a life
stuck
he
to
lived.
his style.
I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm a music head, but I've never like listened.
You have to
the
listen,
nigga.
bro.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna keep
Bro,
this out.
No, it's not.
No,
You
it's
don't
real.
have
It's
to
real.
be.
It's real.
It's their fault. It's
Fuck
their
with
fault.
Vaughn.
Yeah.
It's their fault.
Because it was to me, it was like it's in the midst of all the rest of the bullshit.
Nah, Vaughn is
you know what I
different.
mean?
The same
Yeah.
way
You know
we would have to
what?
attract
You know what
youngins,
was-
they gotta attract us.
My
Right,
man
right,
from
right,
my man
right.
from Memphis.
Right.
You should have known
Right.
that you was Slick Rick of today.
Right.
What's
You
my
didn't know
man
that?
from Memphis that got bodied on the highway? Dope as fuck. Singer R&B.
No, Texas. Mo 3. Houston.
Oh my God.
Not Houston.
Never listen to
but-
Mo 3.
Oh my God.
I know these
Brother,
of these,
brother,
niggas,
brother.
but I never
God.
listen to Mo 3.
These guys, both of them, Vaughn and Mo, they're very, very talented.
Dope as fuck.
And they
Yeah.
also,
I'ma
if
check
you
your shit
listen-
out.
If you listen
You
to
gonna
them,
fuck with it.
I'm gonna check your shit out.
gonna
If you
fuck with
listen
it.
to them,
Only
it'll
thing
take you
about it-
back to
go ahead.
something else. No, I'm saying if you listen to both of them, it'll take you back to be like, okay, this is reminiscent of that.
It's like UGK almost.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got that early
Yeah.
Outcast. Like, them motherfuckers, like, you like, yo, these niggas are true.
And he was melodic. And then,
Melodic.
like, if you listen to his music, he's singing. He's a singing rapper.
Yeah,
so he already let you
Like
know
sing,
there's a
sing.
level of
Yeah.
myself that I'm giving you because I ain't afraid to sing.
Right.
That takes a lot to sing for a street nigga, bro.
Right,
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? I know
Yeah.
street niggas that got
Yeah.
their voice and won't use it because they scared to show that side.
You can sing at the street nigga when you put in work. We're going
No. I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying that's like a mental
Oh, no,
insecurity
no.
that some dudes be
Absolutely.
having. It's like to
Absolutely.
show that side, I can't do it.
It's a
like,
huge insecurity. Like, I don't want to
yourself.
sing. First of all, I'm getting ornaments.
What?
I'm getting ornaments. Come
Only certain niggas got them
I'm getting
insecurities.
ornaments.
though.
What are we
You know what I'm
doing?
saying?
What are we doing it for?
Only certain niggas got
What
them
are we doing
insecurities.
it for?
Man.
What are we doing it for? So it comes with the territory. You
Yes,
know what I
sir.
mean?
But
Right.
yes, sir.
Like, as long as you know who you are at the
Be
core,
comfortable with yourself. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's
But
interesting.
yo, Mo 3, yo, you gonna fuck with him heavy.
Yeah.
And Vaughn.
It's interesting though because it's something I wanted to talk to y'all about too. I wanted to touch on was like, and this is real shit with me too. I love music. We all love music here.
Right.
I'm gonna check his shit out. You know what I mean? And if y'all like it, I'm probably more than like
You gonna
like
fuck
this
with
shit.
it.
You feel
You
what I'm
gonna fuck
saying? But what's gonna make me upset is, and this is what I wanted to ask y'all about is, with what's going on right now with this music. Like, when do we try to get a hold of this shit, man? You understand what I'm saying? How? I'm not gonna say how because I don't even know if it's a fucking way.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is real because, like we just said, we went back to
right.
you know what I mean? And this shit been going on for years.
Right.
But at what point when you reach mega stardom or you reach mega stardom, do we say, yo, my little nigga, come sit with me. You good. You know what I mean?
Switch up.
Like, how long do we
Yeah.
gotta, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, if you real, then you real. But how long you gotta be real till you get killed?
I'm gonna give it a buck with you. I'm gonna touch you this first.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like the shit is on, and we going. I'm gonna say it like this because y'all gonna get it. I feel like it's on the OGs of the game now to already be doing that. So when you think about it, when the younger dudes came out, even when Jay and Nas came out, they had dudes already checking them like, yo, this is how you need to move. You know what I'm saying? Jay had Kane. Nas, you know what I mean? Like, they had OGs in the game already schooling them. These motherfuckers don't have that. So, and I don't know if it's because it's a disconnect but I feel like everybody that's been successful for the last 15, 20 years, to me, has a responsibility to pull these young dudes aside and say, yo, I see what you're doing, you dope, but you gotta move different, or you're gonna really fuck up the culture of it.
Right. Well, nowadays you have people, you know, this new generation. I hate to use those terms.
Sound old, you sound old.
Right.
You know what I mean? But everyone,
Start to sound like the oldest nigga in the room when you say
Sound like Uncle shit.
millennials and shit.
Yeah.
Millennials and shit.
I have to
Generation
constantly
X.
tell people, you know, this new generation, they think they know everything,
Yeah.
and they can't be
Right.
taught anything else.
Yep.
And it's like, where do you go from there? You know what I
Right.
mean? That's a short lifespan.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like when you said, you know, Jay had Kane,
yeah.
you know, Nas had whoever.
Oh, he had Jazzo too, right.
You know, he had
right.
Jazzo, Nas
Right.
had Rakim,
Rakim,
stuff
Main
like
Source,
that.
right.
You know what I mean? Like these younger guys we're now in our emotions. You know, we're now doing different things.
Yeah.
We're dressing different. We're acting different.
Yeah.
Or is that their lifespan? You know what I mean?
The problem is that the OGs that's trying to tell them something can't tell them nothing.
Oh, so you saying they're not listening?
No. If he got more money than the dude that's talking to him,
Oh, facts.
he not listening.
Facts.
And I think it's our fault. Like we lost a handle on them kids.
Right.
Just like the generation before us kind of lost the handle on us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every generation loses them a little more, but the grip crazy.
Them motherfuckers is different.
Lost.
They different.
Yeah. Plus you got the, not to be disrespectful, the crack baby era. People forget that there's a crack baby out there.
No, that's
Ain't
100.
no telling what that long-term effect is on, you know, their temperament, on their span, you know,
The level of understanding.
You know, patience, and, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I mean by their lifespan.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't mean it like, yo, their life was just caught, you know, God, you know what I mean? Like, no, I mean like they might be caught up in that.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, well, like, nigga, I'm getting on and I'm still gonna shoot until the nigga get me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we doing. Because that's not what I'm doing.
Now check this out. The drug game. When we were younger, we could all attest to seeing 30, 40 cars up a strip.
Right.
20, 30 youngins running to the cars, both sides.
Right.
These dudes got this house, you know what I mean? They got their own customers that only go there.
Right.
Everybody thriving. You're not going to tell me that the war on drugs is the same now.
No.
Because I don't see these fiends no more. And I'm
Let me-
not saying they're not there, but it ain't like it used to be.
To your point, and I'm speaking my personal experience. I remember being in the hood. I remember being outside, late night, street lights go on. Motherfuckers like, yo, what you doing out here?
No doubt.
Get your ass in the house.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So I'm gonna tell your parents,
Yes,
you're supposed
sir.
to be out here.
Yes, sir.
It's grown man business.
They know what you about.
And you get in the house, as soon as you get in the house, bah, 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 the motherfuckers just saved your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a different code.
It was different. It
Everything
was
was different, bro.
It was
Everything was
different.
That's the generation of of real men,
Right.
Protecting
Those were men.
protecting the
Those
babies,
were men.
You know what I mean? We've now gone into this generation where it's every man for himself.
Now, how do you get to that point, though? And that's where we blame ourselves. How do you get to that every man for himself point when we started with a hierarchy. We started with a crew. We start, like, even in movies, you had the New Jack City, you had a crew. The crew breakdown, that's where we came from.
Right.
How do you get from that to every man having his own?
Fucking A-balls.
If they start being leaders.
You said it right, though.
Selling A-balls.
The leader became extinct.
But you said it right, though. Their parents, these kids now, their parents, the generation before them, I'm going to keep it about with you, in my opinion, they fucked up.
There's no more lions.
I just feel like they fucked up. You had OGs, I had OGs, you had OGs, you had OGs. All of us had OGs. They didn't have anybody growing up.
Well, that's what I mean. There's no more what I call lions.
Right.
We had our grandparents,
Right.
we had our parents,
Right.
we had whatever, we had whoever in the hood. We had the dude across
Yep.
the
Yep.
neighbor's
Yeah,
across the street.
yeah.
Get inside, or I'm gonna call your mother.
Yeah, the shit fucked you up next door, son.
Exactly.
And be good. Like,
doubt.
shit fuck
No
you
doubt.
up next door.
No doubt.
And then tell your mom.
No
And tell your
doubt.
mom. Your mom's gonna rock you. Like,
Smack the shit out of
this.
them. What are we talking
Yes,
about?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We've now come into a time where everything is so sensitive that you can't.
Yeah.
You have to walk on eggshells.
Yeah,
every
you
5
can't even
seconds
smack a
about
motherfucker.
what you say.
Because the mother can't hit the kid no more.
Right.
Exactly.
Let alone the
parent
neighbor.
can't discipline their kid. No.
The neighbor gets shot, she hit your kid right now, son.
You even look at him wrong.
Right.
Here's the bottom line.
Yep.
There's no more lions. We have cubs leading cubs.
Yep.
We took the power from the parents. We
Yep.
took religion
All of
out
that.
school.
All of that.
And it's haywire.
It's
Let's get into
Now,
it.
that's one thing. I don't think religion should have ever been in school, but that's
I'll give you
another.
that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another.
So I'm
Religion was one of the biggest things that took us down as a people.
To your point. I remember being a kid, and if you was cursing, and y'all want anybody from the hood, you gonna respect this. You saw an older woman, you shut the fuck up
In front of her. Yeah.
No matter who that lady was, you may have never seen that lady. You might be like, nigga,
You give respect to age.
What
You give respect to age for making it.
And she was carrying her groceries.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab this bag for you.
Crack fiend or not.
No,
Or even if she was a crack fiend,
even
you
if
older.
she was a fiend.
We respected our fiends, bro.
We
We ain't really
respected
bothered. There was a couple
everybody.
dudes that was just so thugged out that they was bugging. But for the most part, bro, we didn't wild out.
Yo,
We
it's
wasn't
gone,
just,
man. And to your point,
You know what I mean?
it's gone. I've talked to younger dudes. I mean,
Respect.
that's actually why I started.
Come on.
That's actually why I started my nonprofit shit, because I felt like that was the direct way for me to touch these kids and really give them the game and really help them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because I can't. When the parent volunteers and say, I want my child to work for you, now you give me permission to help them.
Right.
You know what I mean? As opposed to, and I know I got the support of the parent. These motherfuckers on the streets, they different. They don't live by no rules.
Yeah.
Tell me about the nonprofit.
The nonprofit shit, it's called Creative Arts. It's an arts and music program. You know what I'm saying? We've been in existence for a year. I do vocal training. I do music production. I'm looking to hire guitarists to teach guitars. Guitar, to teach piano, poetry. I want to touch all aspects of the creative, being a creative. And it's been amazing because these young people, when I talk to their parents and they're like, yo, my kid is completely different as they started working with you.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't sugarcoat shit. I'm giving to you real, and it's mentorship through music.
No doubt.
And you getting it from a real dude who been through real shit. Okay. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat you and tell you nothing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You like, oh no, Mr. Manny. Yeah, you don't really know. I'm not gonna give you too much, but I'm gonna give you enough to understand. Like, yo, it's real out here, and I'm giving you some tools that help you navigate this and help you really be the dope person that you're supposed to be.
That's the level of entrepreneurship that
That's
we
dope.
need.
That's
right.
dope.
As a young kids.
Anything I could do, I'm around.
Yeah.
Now you have Hustle Right.
Hustle right. That's my alter ego.
Right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
that's a brand.
Hustle. It is. It is
brand,
too.
man.
I got to stand on it and just really take it serious.
Moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
it's a
multitasking
powerful
for me just be putting me in a place where I get nothing done. A lot of times. Sorry about that. Right.
No. It's a powerful brand. I mean, I looked at the footwear, you know, and then just the pieces that you have, the T-shirts.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you have all the tools like right there, and I'm sitting there going,
Push the button.
what?
This motherfucker's seen $1 million.
You know,
It's a wrap.
I'm
It's a
sitting
wrap.
there looking at
Right.
Hustle Right, and I'm going, ching, and I'm going,
That's the first time I seen that done.
ching, and I'm like, huh?
That's the first time I seen that done.
Yeah, exactly.
I never seen a nigga with a sneaker. I never seen a
Not-
nigga
not
with,
from
with,
here?
with a clothing company.
Not from
I
here?
never seen a nigga with 2 albums under the same name.
Right.
I never seen it.
It's a series.
Yeah.
It's a series. It's a collection.
You caught that.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. I'm all about, at the end of the day, branding and collections. You know what I mean? And development. And the collection is there. The branding is there. It's just like, this is like amazing. Like whatever it is, I wanna be part of it. I wanna help expose it. I wanna help do whatever we gotta do to put that out. You know.
That's always been my shortcoming. If I could say I had one, it's multitasking. Like I was just saying, trying to do a little bit of everything, and then being decent at the little bit of shit I try to do. So that was the worst.
Yeah.
Because now I'm all over the place, and I get the least done. You know what I mean? So right now I've learned how to fall back and just outsource and get certain things in position because you can't do everything. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it now.
And I noticed that you've dived into, you know, I saw the Church Free South brand, the Scullies.
Yeah.
Scullies, we got the hoodies. And again, it's just representing my community.
Oh,
man.
I need that.
Yeah, I got you.
I
got
need
you.
that.
Say less.
It's
We
a
gonna get that
label
done.
too.
I need that.
It's crazy. You see this shit?
Yeah.
Church
the
Street
first-
South.
actually-
I need
Yo,
that.
if you see the logo on that shit,
I'm
need
sorry,
that,
it's
brother.
crazy.
but I must say for the
I need
record,
that.
Right.
that's the second time I seen that.
Right. Word.
Church Street South, the label,
Yeah.
and you do have the
Yeah. And the clothing, like, and for me, the clothing was, if you from a hood, if you from an area, a disenfranchised environment, you're gonna be able to relate to that. Even if it's not about just my hood. It's for anybody who ever really came from the bottom, really got out the fucking mud. Right.
Inspired
That's what this is. That's what this is. That's what this represents. It represents, yo, I really grinded to get here. I really was at the bottom, scraping, You know what I'm saying? To get where I'm going, and I'm taking all these people. One of my peoples from the hood, and I'm not gonna say her name obviously, but she's an ex-Fee. Seen her one day, and she grabbed me and was like, "Yo, I want to hug you," and it made me a little emotional. She hugged me. After she hugged me, she was like, "Thank you," and I was like, "For what?" I've known her my entire life. She's like, "For what?" She's like, "Yo, you represent us." You know what that shit mean?
Feel good.
You know what that
shit
shit
feel
mean?
good. That shit feel good, bro.
Joe, I'm like, I'm running through every war now.
Yes,
You
sir.
motherfuckers got problems.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
for
Yes,
you,
sir.
For you specifically, you know, I've represented a couple things that Manny's
Right.
done in the past, and it's like when someone calls me up and they're, you know, crying or they're emotional
Right.
because they go, "Oh my God, he sounds like Curtis Mayfield or
Sam Cooke
or
and
whatever
some
the
shit.
case
Right,
is."
right. Fam.
That's a huge plus. You know what I mean? And then it's the thing of, okay, send me over a photo of what Manny looks like, and then you get this 6'3",
237 pounds.
Right.
guy who sounds like this, who's just
Right.
here meeting, you know, from the jungle,
Right.
and you're going, okay, well,
After Biggie Smalls, you
Right.
look the part, bro. You feel what I'm saying? John, you look the part, bro.
Nobody. They be like,
Trust
"You a
me.
rapper?" Nah, I'm not at all.
exactly,
Right.
You're
Right.
getting all this beautiful sound out of this
And he handling.
monster here,
Yes,
and I'm
sir.
like, yeah,
sir.
he is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, sir.
Which is like, you know what, he should be playing football, but I don't know, somehow,
Right.
He's
Music, that's
here.
my shit. That's what call me.
Because people used to the cliche shit.
exactly.
Right.
All
You know
the
what I
time.
mean?
Right.
And then,
Right.
People
No
used to
light
the
skin,
cliche
curly
shit.
hair, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You tall, you play
Yeah.
basketball.
Right.
You
Nah,
never sing
right.
R&B.
Nah.
So when we
I-
talk about your size and your stature, and we talk about, you know, you should be playing football.
Right.
How did it work out with you doing the commercial for the NFL and Visa?
So we got to talk about it. We're gonna get into that real quick.
Yes.
So I'm on the road. I remember it clear as day with my wife, some of the homies. We're at a optical course event. So G called me. He like, "Yo, we got an opportunity for some shit." It was a stressful day. I'm in a car full of women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers is driving me crazy.
Stressful.
I mean, stressful as
Hard.
fuck. I'm like, fam,
Yo,
I'll drink
edit
to
that shit right
I'll
there.
drink to
I'm like,
that.
fam.
Yes.
I'm like, fam,
Oh, Lord.
I'm on my way in like an hour. I need something to drink. He like, yo, I'm gonna get the Ciroc. I'm like, good. Cause I can't, these motherfuckers are driving me crazy. The wife included, I know you're gonna watch this, but you drove me crazy that day. And I'm just like, yo, let me get the Ciroc. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna knock this shit out. So even though I'm stressed out in my mind, I'm like, it's go time. For me, you know, I hooped a bit, played a little football, obviously in the hood. So I almost approach shit like an athlete. Game on the line, or we got to get the win. I'm gonna get the fucking win. I don't give a fuck what's happening. I'm gonna get the win. I don't give a fuck who in the way. I'm knocking you the fuck out. I need to get what I need to get.
That's where it
Definitely.
comes from.
So I come in the lab, bro, like, yo, I got the Ciroc. I'm like, I put the beat on. And he can tell you, I'm like, put the beat on, I'm throwing him back. I'm like, shit.
I always get the big bottles.
Big bottle, big ass bottle, big bottle of rock. We
time
was
to
going
work.
hard on the Ciroc.
It's time to work.
Joe gets the end phone call at
Yeah.
the end of the night
Yeah.
where I'm like, Joe!
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Shit got real.
Yeah.
He's like, you been drinking it.
Yo, I tell a nigga every time.
Sauce.
Yo,
I already know. Nigga.
Sauce.
so we in the lab and we do the shit. And I'm like, yo, put the mic on. He's like, yo, you good? Put the fucking mic on. Bro, what we talking about?
That's work.
I go in there, I start singing the shit. He like, yo, what the fuck?
That
Yo!
was it.
I'm zooming
That
through
was
the
it.
shit. I ain't writing nothing
That-
down.
it's a mindset,
It's in my
man.
head. I'm in a zone. So he like, yo, all right, cool, we got it. He sent it over to the homie FS, shout to FS. He in the FS like, yo, they love the shit. They really fucking love the shit. We need to make a couple of changes. I'm like, cool, whatever. I'm thinking nothing of it. This is what we do normally. I mean, how long it took to do
That's how
that
you
shit?
cook.
Hour?
Couple
2 hours?
2 hours at the
2 hours to record the whole shit.
For all you 15-minute people,
Right.
that shit is a bunch of
Right,
blah,
it's a
blah.
bullshit. It's a bullshit.
Niggas miss me with that
No,
shit.
no,
man.
right.
You know what I mean? We red dots. We doing
Right.
red dots. Y'all niggas miss me with that 15-minute shit.
So
'cause that
it's
shit
15
trash.
minutes of bullshit. So we send it back, we make a couple of changes. They get me on the line, they're like, yo, we got the shit. I'm like, whoa, fuck you mean we got it? They're like, NFL, Visa, Julio fucking Jones.
Atlanta Falcons and Morgan Freeman is going to actually narrate the actual commercial.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
That's the thing. It's like, you need to understand this right now.
Is this done already?
Yeah, it's done. It's been done.
Bro, that shit went
Listen to
crazy.
me.
Wait,
It needs to be a sin for dudes not to know.
bro, wait till this shit. So it gets even worse. So the shit drops, and I'm like, all right. I'm still, because again, I'm from the hood, and we don't really.
It's the high note.
You know what I'm saying? We just keep it here all the time. So I'm looking at this shit, and I'm like, 5,000 views on YouTube, 10,000 views. I go upstairs, my wife called me back. She like, yo, this shit at 100,000 views. I'm like, the fuck is you talking about? My phone ringing, my mom's calling me, my people's calling me.
They're playing it on NFL. They're playing it on Monday Night Football.
My brother.
And they playing the shit
My brother.
over and
My
over
brother.
and over. And by that same day, my shit is on 1 million views, and I'm
What?
like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes, sir.
Whoa.
Different type of time.
I didn't even grasp the concept.
Different type of time.
At that point,
I'll drink to that.
When you do things like that,
That's
Right.
crazy.
you go
That's
from
crazy.
You go from moving from BMI
Right.
to moving into SAG,
Right.
which is
Right.
you're basically
Right.
You must put him
You're
there.
official.
You must put him there.
You're
compensating for SAG money,
You're official.
your commercial, your TV, your
Congratulations,
money.
my
Right.
brother.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Constantly
That was
on,
tough as fuck.
Congratulations.
You know, over and over again, and they play the commercial. I mean,
4.6 million YouTube views. This motherfucker got hurt. Fucking Julio, you owe me a bag.
Well, Julio was that nigga.
It was that
Julio
year.
was
It was the year he
nigga.
broke his ankle.
That was
though.
that was Julio was that
so,
nigga.
So in a week, it did 4.6 million views. He broke his ankle that week and was out for the season. Had he not gotten hurt,
It would have
believe-
been more.
I think this shit would have hit like 60, 70. Like, people are calling me like, yo, that's you. And I'm like, they like, yo, I can't fucking believe. I'm like, yo, I wrote it. Damn, that's me.
Man, this is New Haven. It's like, come on, man.
this is
Come on, man.
This shit is for the record, though.
This shit is for the record. You
feel what
and
I'm saying?
all the hood is like champion shit. Like, put me on your shoulders. Like, yo, my nigga did it. Like, you know, because everybody know I'm a real
Damn
one.
right,
So I'm like,
damn
yo,
right,
that's
damn
my
right,
nigga. He
damn right.
really did it. Like, I remember when he was coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you got on Bobos and shit. Like, it was real like that. So to have that experience, I think that gave me a different level of confidence. I think that put me on some Bruce Leroy shit.
absolutely.
Like, I had to glow after that.
As it should.
Like, I'm like, oh, I did this in
glow.
I did this in 2 fucking hours. What
Glow.
are y'all talking about?
Damn
I
right.
can do anything.
Damn right.
I can do anything. Like, and not even on the average shit, because I'm a humble dude, but I was just like, my potential is limitless. Ain't no box.
Nigga
Yo,
said
them
that
motherfuckers
he had the
hang.
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, I had the motherfucking glow, nigga. Who's
You
the
talking about a
master,
nigga? Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who's
New
the
Haven
fucking
has taught
master?
me sometimes you gotta let them hang. Sometimes you gotta walk outside and whoop somebody's ass just to let them know who the fuck you are.
No, that's 100.
That's New Haven, bro.
I've done
That's the shit
They won't
that,
give it to you, bro.
That's the shit that we used to do when we was younger. So
Bro,
he
they
going
won't
back.
give it to you, bro.
You got to knock somebody
They
the fuck
won't
out.
give
What
it
we
to
talking
you.
about? What we-
They won't give it to you.
I know this is a music podcast, but we talking real shit here. I mean,
this
sometimes you
no,
got
this is not a, this is,
They won't.
I gotta correct you,
Please
bro.
correct me, sir.
This is definitely not a music. This is
For the record. So we be talking, we
bro.
keeping it a
We
buck.
talking about any and everything, bro.
Sometimes you gotta knock somebody out, and the motherfucker gotta put restraining order on you.
That's what it is.
Before. You know what I'm saying?
And,
That's what it
and
is.
all you wanted to do was state your, to make a point.
That's it. That's
Like,
it. That's it.
stop playing with me.
Yeah, I'm not to be played.
Give me mine.
I'm not
you know,
playing.
you know what I mean? You know what the fuck I earned. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I
earned it.
deserve.
Right.
And why the fuck do? It's least effective when I say it.
Right.
It's more effective when you say it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I don't want to run around saying, "Well, I know I got to be I got to embrace what I am."
Right.
But I need y'all to say it.
Right.
If y'all motherfuckers don't say it, it don't matter.
And
You know what I mean?
And to your point, the wildest shit about the whole shit was I had a homie. She lived in Detroit. She was like, bro, when I heard it, I thought it was fucking for real.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa, that's some heavy shit.
Yeah,
And
right.
I didn't go. I just did me, bro. You was there. I just did me. He calls me.
Mm-hmm.
FS calls me, big homie, and he like, yo. They was like, yo, you the next Curtis Mayfield.
Loving that shit.
Curtis Mayfield?
Yep.
Like them comparisons, motherfuckers I listened to growing up. Yeah. You putting me in that on that level. I'm like, whoa, this is different.
Because when you performing, I don't know what they saw, whether it was live or recorded. I know them lives on your YouTube.
Oh, that's different.
Because you get to see you, but you get to see you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You see the 6'3", 240-pound,
grown
ass man. Like
you get busy, brother.
I appreciate it, bro.
Busy.
I appreciate it, bro.
You get
I
busy.
see this nigga performing and I stop watching.
You get busy, bro.
I appreciate it, bro.
That's your thing.
You've been in a lot of my shit, bro.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
If it push you away, I know something.
It's not in a bad way though.
I have to.
It's just like this nigga's. I'm always taking in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I respect
I'm always watching. I'm always seeing.
that.
Nigga, when Biggie penned that first line came out on that first song, I didn't even have to listen to the rest of the shit because I already knew this album was fire.
Dude,
you was on set.
Yo, that's 100% fact.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm a student of that to myself.
I'm gonna say this. When I listened to Biggie's pen, like I called you, I hung up on you, and then I went back and started listening to it again. I got mad. I was like, yo, why don't I know this guy?
Right.
I'm like, yo, what? Hold on. I think I called you back and was like, yo, this is ridiculous.
You told me you never met him, and I'm like, what do you mean?
this is a lifelong friend of mine.
I told him that. What did I tell you? How long did I tell you I knew this nigga? Tell him what you said.
I've known Phil so long.
Kids,
I don't even know what school I know him
Oh
from.
shit! Is that go back down?
That's what I consider friends.
It's that
bro.
hill shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that hill shit.
Absolutely.
That's what it
And we
is.
right down the street, and that's the wildest shit
And
ever.
I gotta say it right. One day, you gotta do this. You gotta dig his history up.
Oh, I knew.
Come on, this shit ain't about me, man.
Fuck that.
This shit ain't about me,
Just
man.
one day, you gotta sit over here.
I appreciate it.
Because, bro,
brother.
I'm gonna be honest with
I
you.
appreciate
I
it.
know what you mean
Yeah, we
to
all do.
New
We
Haven
all
hip hop
do. We all do.
in fashion. You know what I mean? Like, period. Like, you've
And the
always been
music
around.
shit.
You've always been in the mix, bro.
And the
you've
music
always
shit.
been like trying to wait your time to get in there. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. I love this shit. I might not got the bars, but I love this shit. I might not be rapping right now, active with it, but I love this shit. And you, my nigga, I always know you for having conversations with you about the music, about the fashion, about something around dancing around music.
Right.
You need one too. You know what I mean? Because that's big. You feel what I'm saying? Because, you know, just like we need the artists, we need the lovers. And we need the people that were in position that had bags at time. You ain't have to have the biggest bag in the world, but you had to have a bag that you was willing to spend. And
To make shit move.
You've had bags
To make shit
willing
move.
to spend on music and dancing around music and artists and fashion. And I'm trying to tell you, bro, that's big too.
I appreciate
You feel what I'm saying? It all makes sense and it all matters.
Here's my contribution. My contribution to the three of you. Meeting Joe is when I was in retail and handling clothing stuff and dealing with Timberland and blah, 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 blah. And then my thing with Joe was going to one of his fashion shows.
Come on, man.
You know what I
Come
mean?
on, man.
And then
You see, I ain't lying.
I saw that everyone else at his fashion show wasn't taking their job seriously enough. So I incorporated myself and my brother.
Strong arm the shit.
I did.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah.
I have a tendency of strong arming certain things. Sorry.
Yeah. That's your shit.
I apologize after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I incorporated myself and my brother, and I said, look, we need to help him because I see the greatness, and we need to help. We need to do what these other people that he trusts aren't doing, and we did that. Correct?
It was the weirdest shit.
Bro, they don't know.
It was a. Go ahead.
I'm saying that's correct, right?
That's that's it A1,
And
bro.
I move on to you. We've created, we've written, we vibed, he sends me tracks and I'm like,
You guys both right?
huh?
Yeah.
I
I write all my shit.
He sends
No,
me
I'm not.
tracks.
It's not. No.
Hold on. What you not listening to what he's saying is, now I'm producing for real. Like,
Yeah.
he got a record coming out. He got a record coming out that's so fucking crazy that I produced. I sent it to him and he just, yeah!
You see, I'm sitting here like this.
What the fuck is this?
We got to cut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I don't got no box, bro. Like, I don't have any box.
Make music.
Whatever I want to do, I'm going to be great at.
Yep.
So my contribution to him was being able to expose him to things like
Yeah.
the Julio,
Yeah.
you know, and Julio
FS.
Jones and FS and that whole entire time frame. And, you know, he currently has music spinning and in rotation. I get tired of hearing him in rotation on 94.3. I'm like, can't somebody else get played?
Let him do
You know
it.
what I mean?
Kill him.
But here's the
Kill him.
here's what I say all that to say this. I've been blessed to meet you, and now you.
Yes, sir.
And my contribution, our contribution to you is I would be honored to have you in the summer edition of Compulsive Magazine.
That's no question.
And that's us putting the work in,
That's no
us
question.
talking to you and telling your story and putting it in, and we're nationwide in Barnes and Nobles and Books A Million. I want to do that.
Bro, you could have been in Connecticut only. It don't even make a difference to me. I'm with it.
I get that.
And I'm super humble.
But the respect and the admiration for you.
Thank you.
Like, I look at, I didn't tell you, so for Biggie's Pen, I listened to your project, and I started to say, I got upset, I got mad, because I was like, this is too good. This is too good.
You seen the post I put out when I dropped that album, right?
I seen that. You challenged
The
challenged
state.
some people.
The state.
You challenged a
The
lot
state.
of people.
The state
And
of Connecticut.
I was like, I gotta go back and listen to it and figure out what's wrong with this. I couldn't find anything.
Yep.
And then the respect came more when all the features were at the end of the project.
Yeah, like 6, 7 joints before you hear somebody.
Yeah.
I call him, Joe, you don't need no features.
You got to
I was
respect
like, you
that
don't
shit.
need
Yeah.
nobody.
Yeah,
He carried the entire project.
yeah,
Alone.
The features was love.
yeah.
The features was like,
It was
yo,
love.
let me
The
just
features
give
is
y'all
what
the-
niggas is not doing because niggas are scared
Yeah.
to work with
Yeah.
somebody like
I
you
fuck with
or
them
somebody
dudes, man.
like you. You understand what I'm saying?
Shout to Ty Henny, shout to Bragging Rights,
No
shout
doubt.
to Ja
Shout out to
Innocent,
them.
shout
We're
to
gonna
By
get
the Way.
we're gonna get a couple of them niggas up here.
doubt.
Definitely
Ty
shout out
Henny's
to them
doing
because I fuck with
Yes,
the
sir.
real.
Yes,
And
sir.
those niggas that you just mentioned.
Yes, sir.
We're not gonna get into a bunch of niggas. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. But those niggas that he mentioned, the Ty Henny's, the Bragging Rights, I don't deal with them niggas on a daily basis. I've dealt with them niggas and you know what I mean in the past and shit like that. But official niggas, we'll get to them niggas.
Yeah, official.
When you don't need anybody to help you carry a project.
Because even the industry crews now are doing it.
Yeah.
The features are carrying.
They're carrying the whole record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You could have you could have left them off, and I would have been like, yo,
It would've
this
been
is still amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
But
what
I
I'm saying?
really dealt with dudes I really do music and I really like their music. You know what I mean? Bragging Rights is
respect.
man. Like, he's really at my studio. Like you know, he comes by, big bro, what's up? And I'm about to
Last
do this.
album was hard.
I'm
I
about
listened to
do
it.
21 Dickerman.
I listened to
man.
it. Last album was
Go
hard,
in
bro.
my
I
studio,
fuck with
the album cover right there.
bro.
in my
I'm that
studio
nigga
window.
at home at 12 o'clock on Thursday night with my beats charging on the side of me.
Yes, sir.
Like this is real shit with me,
Yes, sir.
bro. Like
sir.
these local artists don't
Yes, sir.
know that I'm that nigga. I'm not
Yep.
even gonna hold you.
Yep.
I'm sitting there
See?
waiting to 12 o'clock to see, okay, who shit dropping
Mm-hmm.
and who shit I'm listening to at 12 o'clock.
And give or take a quality mix, you might have that record, man. Connecticut got so much talent, man. New Haven, yo, you know what I mean? You know, I can't speak for all of Connecticut as much as I can speak for New Haven.
Right.
Man, New Haven got that shit, bro.
They got some talent, man.
Like we got that shit. Like I've
got
never
some
been,
talent, man.
I've never been more proud of Connecticut artists than I am, or have been for the last 3-4 years.
Okay, exactly.
And bringing it back to the beginning, we just need to do a better job of supporting each other.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's the fucking part. That's the
Yep.
difference between us and anybody else.
Now I got to take on that.
Talk to me.
That might be the hardest part per fan base. The fans haven't been groomed to be a good fan base for what we need. You know what I mean? We haven't groomed them. It's going to take 7 more years, or maybe 3 or 4, a strong 3 or 4, with the industry coming behind somebody, just because that helps them. Once the industry get behind an
gonna
artist,
fuck with you.
seriously,
They gonna fuck with you.
they're gonna come.
They're gonna fuck with you.
You know what I mean? And that's to the effect of Wally Don. Like you've never, I noticed, like you've never had a video with the impact of Wally Don's video, because French came at a time when he was at his peak.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was
French
like,
brother did Wally
Right,
Wood.
yeah, there's no video in New Haven
Right.
that had that type of breath to it.
Right.
You felt that video. Even if you ain't like the record. I mean, he ain't got to be, you felt that. You felt like something was about to happen.
I fuck with his energy.
You had to at
I
that
will say
point.
that a lot of your videos are top quality.
Yes.
And very impactful. A lot of your videos, I'm looking at
No,
stuff and I'm like,
no, it's not to discredit me.
Yeah.
But when you put
I'm here to big up
three,
you. I'm
no,
here to be like, yo.
nah, and I give it up. But Wally Don is my blood.
Wally
So
Don
I don't
is
want people to,
amazing.
you know what I'm saying? I
fuck
give it
with
out
Wally.
too at the same time because
I fuck with Wally.
I'm
I fuck
Uncle
with Wally.
Blount, bro.
I fuck with Wally.
Like I can't even talk
right.
about me without talking about what New Haven, how New Haven make me feel.
And that's big because nobody does that. Nobody actually sits back and goes, you know what?
New Haven love me
Let me tell
musically
you about
whether they
this
tell me or
person.
not.
Let me tell you about that person. We don't do that enough. You know what I mean? You would have no idea about certain things if we didn't. No one told you. If you
Open
don't
your mouth. Open your mouth.
Yeah.
Listen, this shit couldn't have been better, bro. We could do this for
We can keep
hours,
going.
man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But I definitely want to take a second to thank y'all, man, for the opportunity. You know what I mean?
Brother.
To
Shit,
do
thank
this.
y'all.
Man. You know what I mean? It's a privilege, man. What you said about me, I appreciate, but to hear y'all stories is a lot better, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? The world needs to know, and we're gonna push this shit as far as we need to push it.
And likewise, thank y'all for having this, bro. Like this shit was
No doubt.
this is probably the best fucking time I had